this is Lori. Welcome back to Finding 50 Fit. And the first week we touched upon the topic of an elimination diet. And I really didn't get into it too much because the person that I have learned so much from was beginning a course to guide people through the A to Z's of an elimination diet and healing the gut and boosting your immune system. And so I really didn't get into too many details. However, so as I say, I'm not an expert on an elimination diet, but I might be considered an expert in starting an elimination diet because it's something that I've done probably more than 100 times. And that's part of the reason for the impetus of this whole project, because I need to follow through a lot longer. So actually today, as you're watching this video, it will be day 3 for me restarting again. I'm taping this on Wednesday, and my elimination consists of corn, dairy, gluten, soy, sugar, and in addition to that, all grains, legumes, and nightshades. And the reason for this is because I have a long-standing problem, and I'm not exactly sure what it all is encompassing, whether there's additional problems with mold or an extensive issue with candida or parasites. And so I'm going to take this off the table to help my gut heal so that I can learn a little bit more about what's going on, reduce the inflammation in my body, and take it to the next level with those other factors. It's going to take me, working in the home a little bit more and just a lot longer of time. And so one of the things that I've dealt with several times is detox effects. So when you are doing an elimination diet, your body will start to shed toxins, and one of the biggest toxins is from die-off. So when you have bad bacteria or bad yeast, an overgrowth of yeast in your gut, they will start to perish, which is good. But the side effects of these dead organisms is more toxins in your body. You could actually go through a literal withdrawal. You can have flu-like symptoms. You can have all sorts of issues related to detoxing from these things. And so managing that can be challenging, and knowing that it's coming can also be a deterrent from going through the process. So if you have some tools to help you minimize the effects of the detox, then that can really be helpful. And so one thing that you can do is drink a little bit more water than what the typical recommendation is. So the typical recommendation is half your body weight in ounces. I actually almost completely avoided a detox reaction when I did this in February with drinking actually more than a gallon a day. I did about a gallon a day. And build up that, you gradually increase that so that you're not just in the bathroom urinating all day long. I also tempered the water a little bit with ginger root. So I'm drinking a lot of my water with ginger root, some of it raw, some of it from hot water soaked like a tea, and I sweeten with stevia. And so it doesn't give me a water belly feeling like I'm just totally bloated with water. Toward the end of the day, if I feel like maybe my electrolytes are a little bit off, or if I'm just concerned that I have had so much water, I would put in some Celtic sea salt to make sure that I'm not throwing off my electrolyte balance too much and basically drowning my cells with too much water. So this is why you build up your increase slowly so that you don't have any major negative side effect from having too much water. But the water is continually flushing your cells and helping to remove the toxins and the dead organisms as well. Taking baths with Epsom salts. You can throw in some flavored essential oils of a high quality essential oil. And the skin is one of the major detoxification routes for our bodies to utilize. And so when you're in the bath, it can help with a really direct impact of getting some toxins out of your body. Trying to get those bowel movements, because sometimes you can actually be in a situation where you feel like really awful sick, and you might even think you really are sick, and then you have a significant bowel movement, and the effects are gone. The illness feeling is gone, and then you know that truly was just a detox. You weren't actually sick, but it can make you feel really, really sick. So those are a couple things that can really help minimize the problem. I know in the past when I've been on caffeine, I did that first. So I got rid of that awful headache feeling first before I went to the next step with all the foods and sugars. And so I hope you find these tips helpful. And if you have any questions about the elimination diet, I can share what I know, what I've read, what I've done. And I can also refer you to a practitioner that specializes and focuses on nutrition and how to best put together a plan for yourself and what do you need to eliminate. Basically, for most people, you start out with just the 5 main things of corn, dairy, gluten, soy, and sugar. And if after a couple weeks you're not feeling that your bloating is going down or you're really not feeling better, then you might think about stepping it up and adding in another one of those levels that I mentioned with regard to either nightshades, legumes, or grains. And then each person's different. They might be certain foods in particular that you have a problem with. Maybe you have a problem with broccoli, or maybe you have a problem with just some other random food that isn't so much an allergenic food, but just that your body is not so enthralled with. So good luck to everybody this week, and I hope that you are benefiting from these videos and the information that I'm sharing. It's definitely helping me to just kind of have a little bit of fun with this. I didn't expect this to start to take on a life for me of fun. I thought that this was going to be more scary for me to be sharing this stuff, but I'm actually really enjoying this. So thanks for joining, and I hope I'll see you next week. Bye.
Hi, I'm back. Actually, it's day 5. I decided not to put the video out on day 3 like I had initially intended because I wasn't feeling great and I wanted to let my body rest and not be in front of the computer screen. And so I thought I'd give a little recap here. A couple things. Why am I doing this? For myself, it's to strengthen my immune system. I know that I have some issues digesting food. I know that my gut is not healthy based on how I feel after I eat certain foods, and I need to do a comprehensive healing process to really figure out what I can eat, how much I can eat, and so this is going to be a long-term thing for me. Somebody else might do it if they are dealing with a chronic complex illness like Lyme or fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, and I actually was diagnosed with Lyme about 1.5 years ago. And so for me, I was relieved to have the diagnosis. Most people would be quite upset by it, but I had been sick for the preceding 1.5 years with so many different illnesses that I didn't understand where they were coming from. And I had been sick for the majority of a year with a bladder infection that ended up landing me in the hospital for a couple days with IV antibiotics. And so getting the diagnosis of Lyme was really, really helpful because it showed me that I wasn't crazy. All these changes in my brain and all these different feelings, there was a reason for it. And so that's related to what I'm going through as well. And so what might we feel when we do the elimination? Lots of things, a huge gamut of symptoms. A couple of the most common ones would include some maybe cold or flu-like symptoms, headaches, really, really common, just basically feeling not well. Your skin could have reactions of hives or itchy red rashes, and you could also feel emotional changes. You could feel anxious or like you need to cry, and you should probably let yourself if that happens. Because I had recently done the elimination diet in February, my reaction was much less severe. The initial time that I did an elimination diet about 15 years ago, I had true withdrawal symptoms. I was shivering. I had I felt like I had a fever, just uncontrolled shivering, and awful headache. And that lasted, I don't remember how long because that was so many years ago. I do remember though, anytime that I had a reaction that was kind of bad, if I would have a bowel movement shortly thereafter, it would kind of go away or ease up. So I knew that I wasn't sick. I knew that it was the toxins that were released in my body finally exiting my body. I've taken baths with Epsom salts and essential oils, and that's helped. I personally have always found it very, very helpful to drink a lot of water. I put ginger root in my water. Attached on the description box will be my recipe for how I make a bulk batch and put it in the ice cube trays and use it for just every day. So it's easy and it's done like once a week. I use stevia to sweeten it, and I'll pre-sweeten it. I will put it in my water bottle, fill up my water bottle with regular water, and it's such a concentrated tea that it makes it like a nice consistency. You have to play around with what you like in terms of the strength of the ginger and also the sweetener that you choose. You're going to want to try to pick a non-artificial sweetener, something that's healthier than just plain white sugar. You can use coconut sugar, you can use agave, maybe honey if you're not on the elimination diet. Stevia is my sweetener of choice, so that's what I use. So I had a headache on day 3, really, really bad Friday night, and I woke up Saturday feeling great. Today I still feel really good. I don't really have too much with cravings, but I wasn't eating a lot of sugar before either. So cravings can be hard for a few weeks when you're eliminating. After 3 weeks, you'll be so happy to know that you don't have, the cravings can go away. If you're not feeling satisfied with what you're eating with all these vegetables, you might want to increase your fat intake, healthy fat intake. And so coconut oil in your cooked food, coconut or olive oil if you're having a salad. Olive oil is great, flaxseed oil. And there's a number of really healthy oils. Butter, if you're not on an elimination diet, is a great, real butter is a great fat to add. On your plate, if you have a lot of veggies and a nice healthy portion, palm-sized portion of protein, and you're feeling hungry, then you probably do not have enough fat in that plate. And the healthy fat will not lead you to become overweight. It will help your immune system. It will help your hormone function, it'll help your brain function. There's so many good things about eating good healthy fats in a nice plentiful amount. And so if you like access to some additional information regarding managing the elimination and the detox effects, I also wanted to highly recommend an ebook that my friend and colleague wrote. It's called Life After Lyme. It's over 200 pages, so it's not just the little pamphlet. It has chapter after chapter after chapter of incredibly deep and easy to absorb information. At the end of it, there's 20 appendices with resources for how to obtain the things that she talks about so that you can get started with a lot of information on a healing path if this is something that you're interested in. So can't recommend that book enough. I go back to it often for the resources that it has and just to see if there's more information that I missed, because it's so jam-packed full of information. So hope you enjoy the ginger recipe, and if you have any questions about how, why, or what to do if you decide to do an elimination diet, please comment or leave me a message. And if anyone does decide to purchase the Life After Lyme book, please know that it's not just meant for someone with Lyme. It could be anybody dealing with any kind of complex illness, or even just a healthy person that's trying to maximize their health and be as healthy as they possibly can. So good luck to everybody, and thanks for joining. Bye.